What's going on, guys? Wei and Constant at the Revolution Watch Bar, and we are very pleased to announce our latest collaborative watch. It is a three-way collaboration between ourselves, Moritz Grossmann, and Complimine or Kari Voutilainen Dial Factory, right? So let's go back a little bit in time, back to 2018, and that represents our very first collaboration with Moritz Grossmann. The first watch that we did with them was a Benu 37. So it was really funny because in 2018, they said, which watch do you want to do? And we said, we'd like to do the 37mm in diameter case because we really feel as if people are moving back towards these more classic proportions.
2018 was really early though.
It was really early, right? And actually it was funny because when we launched that watch, a couple of people even said, oh, I really like it, but it's too small.
Too small.
Right?
Oh my, how times have changed.
Dude. All that everyone says is it's not small enough, you know?
Yeah.
You know?
It's too big,
it's too big, it's too bulky, whatever. So anyway, we were very happy because of course now our watch is perfectly sized for the prevailing taste of today. In fact, this watch is a follow-up to a watch that we launched last year in a 6-piece limited edition called the Silver Bullet.
Silver Bullet, yeah.
So it is a Benu 37. It is, to my belief, one of the most beautiful manual wound movements in the world, encased in the back of this watch, and it is the caliber
102.1 manual wound movement, basically. By Moritz Grossmann.
But when you look up close at the movement, you look at the exquisite finishing that's applied at Moritz Grossmann at their manufacturer in Guilloché, right? So the entire base plate and the bridges are crafted from German silver, which is the material that's traditionally used for movements in Germany, right? And it's my belief that Moritz Grossmann is one of the best brands in terms of hand finishing for movements in the world.
Yeah.
Right? But then let's look at this case. It's a beautifully proportioned 37mm in diameter case. And then somehow the craft doesn't stop in the back of the watch, it continues on the front because you have here a beautiful Guilloché dial created by Kari Voutilainen's company Complimine, right? And I've been there and I've looked at these over 100-year-old engine turning machines that he uses to create these dials. I think he has the greatest collection of those machines.
I think so, yeah, I think so, yeah.
And his craftsmen in his manufacture are the absolute masters of Guilloché à main, where they're tracing a pattern into minute detail using a small engraving burin onto this dial with this kind of reduction geared system. But the thing is to understand that this takes incredible skill and patience, right?
Yeah, it
because
is.
you're hand guiding the entire process. And to see the exquisite level of finishing, all the different finishes that you have on the track underlying the hour indexes, then in the beautiful sun ray finish that seems to explode from the center of the dial. And if you look close to the cannon pinion, the contrasting pattern of the ring that also contrasts even further with the checkerboard pattern where the pinion of the small seconds is, it's just a visual feast.
It's crazy. I mean, this is definitely a connoisseur watch because you really got to appreciate the little details on this watch itself to really get a feel of how amazing this piece of art is.
Right. But let's talk about what's really unique about this particular limited edition because the name of the watch is German silver.
Yeah.
So we mentioned to you already that the movement is crafted from German silver, but we also wanted to tell you that the dial is also crafted from untreated German silver. And why? It's because German silver has a unique quality in that it changes color over time, right? It patinas into this beautiful kind of golden hue.
Oh, I love that, man. I truly love that.
Right. You know,
aging.
And when you look at movements from old Langas or watches that are made in Germany that are using this movement, it reaches a color that's absolutely exquisite.
Yeah.
And this is just down to the natural aging process. So it was really interesting to me that no one I had thought of had come up with a untreated German silver dial, because then the dial would also age in the same way. And the dial that started off, as you can see here, with this kind of warm, very, very light champagne tone, would over time develop a richer and richer golden hue to match the hue that you have in the back, right? So you have a watch that is literally transforming each time you wear it. When you pick this watch up tomorrow and put it on your wrist, it's different from the way it was the night before.
Yes,
And I think that's really remarkable.
You literally have a lifetime companion.
But yes,
it does grow with you, you know?
And I think that that's so wonderful because I've always thought of wristwatches as the most ethical luxury object in the world. Why? Well, from a power consumption perspective, it only takes the power that you give to it by winding it or that you give to it by wearing it if it's an automatic watch. Then on top of it, it's something that endures forever, right? And I love the idea of strapping a watch on your wrist, and as you go through your day or your week or your month or your year or through the entire pathway of your life, it becomes a companion, right? It's always on your wrist, guiding you faithfully. We're giving you the time, but helping you structure your life, right?
Yeah.
And I love the idea that with each passing year, the unique experience that you've had with that watch will be reflected by the color on the dial and the color of the movement. It will tell the story of you.
Wow, that's a really nice thing to have, Many of the watches that I own are already old.
Yeah.
So, but buying a modern watch in today's world, it's hard because all of the modern materials doesn't really age. It take a long time to age, maybe after I'm gone.
Yeah.
But something like this, it's like, wow, I can see the change every single day.
Yeah, so there's another thing that I want to talk about related to this watch, and it's the hands, right? So first of all, Moritz Grossmann makes his own hands, and they're so beautiful, long, graceful, and attenuated.
Super thin as well.
Incredibly thin, and then heat treated, flame treated, not to blue, but to purple, right?
Yes.
And I think that that's really lovely, and it's interesting also because the dial will continue to change color to see the contrast of this underlying color with these purple hands. I think it's going to be really fun to watch this, right? This movement is finished in a different way from the previous editions. So the silver bullet was finished with what they call Guilloché, which is kind of like their version of Geneva stripes.
Yeah.
So we decided to go a different route with this particular movement, and we decided to frost the entire base plate.
It is beautiful, yeah.
And then hand bevel all of the angles. And then we hand engraved all the words that go into here as well. So yeah, you have a beautiful hand engraving also in the movement for this watch as well, which has a signature of the brand and of course the number of the movement. That combined with the beautiful hand engraving that you see on the bridges as well means that everything here is either frosted or hand engraved, right? Which I absolutely love. To me, this is one of the most beautiful watches that we've ever created.
I really agree. To be honest, I prefer this finishing over the silver bullet.
Yeah, me too. I think that's a better finish.
Really
and there's more handwork on it as well. So guys, thank you so much for joining us. This is the Revolution times Moritz Grossmann times Kari Voutilainen, limited edition German silver. It's a watch that will age with time and reflect the passing of the years as it is your faithful companion. Thank you for joining us.